I just got off the phone with a sales trainer and a sales manager discussing a few reps on their team and how to coach their performance. And to keep the names confidential, let's call the sales trainer John, the sales manager Jessica, and one of the reps we discussed, Sam. Sam's closing rate and revenue per sale are very low, lowest on the team, and his appointments are set for him to go to a potential customer's home, and there he follows the sales process to complete the sale for replacement windows. Sam earned $100,000 last year, even with his low closing percentage due to the real estate boom. And now that appointments are less, Sam is closing less volume and earning lower commissions. A big welcome today to everyone as we study personalities measured by the best assessment for recruiting and coaching outstanding sales reps, the CTS Sales Profile. And as you use its validated personality and cognitive data, you will recruit better reps and then identify the best coaching approach to help them sell more. And as John and Jessica told me about Sam's low closing rate and revenue per sale, I pulled up his cognitive and personality trait data, and there we could see pretty good verbal and vocabulary levels, and lower math and problem-solving capability. Then we looked at his CTS sales profile and personality traits, and from a big picture perspective, we could see that Sam enjoyed being compliant. He tended to depend on others to define expectations in his sales role and with prospects. His need to control what went on around him was very low. In other words, Sam loved to please others and to fulfill what others wanted from him. His assessment answers showed a tendency to wait for and then follow the orders he was given. His natural bent was not to control the sales process. It was to answer the questions of the customer and to seek to understand and serve their needs. We'll come back to this in a minute. I then asked John and Jessica what his number one motivator was, and I gave them 3 possibilities. The first 2 are the more natural ones to top performers: competition or a certain amount of income for a specific reason. Competition, if present, always shows up in other areas of a person's life, often sports, but also in other areas. Money is the other top motivator, but always a certain amount, and when present, a person can quickly identify the amount they want. They are also able to give specific reasons for desiring to earn that income. And both John and Jessica were quick to say that neither of these were present in Sam. I then explained to them that there was a third motivation that could keep Sam on the team, and that was the trait conscientiousness. If Sam was conscientious to a level of 9 or 10, and they coached him in a very specific way, it was possible that he could sell at acceptable closing rates and revenue amounts. While not certain, this particular method was, in my opinion, the last chance for them to coach him to success. Conscientious people who are neither competitive or money-focused are compliant people. They need their goals set for them. They need to be told what is good, bad, and mediocre. And they especially need minimum standards. These are the closing rates, income per sale, and overall revenue results necessary to remain on the team. It's interesting to note that Jessica and John admitted that they did not have these. They had allowed Sam to remain on the team without defining a minimum standard necessary to keep a sales job and remain employed. In many sales organizations throughout our client base, there are sales reps allowed to stay on their sales teams. If all the reps performed at their level, this would bankrupt the company. Often on teams without minimum standards, these reps remain and drag down the overall metrics of the company. Now, of course, there is a bell-shaped curve for any group of salespeople. Every group operates at an average amount of sales per person. But if teams, because of a few people in the red, are allowed to slide to lower average sales levels and remain there, profits erode. Think of baseball teams with 9 batters in the hitting lineups, and the lower 2 or 3 players stay in the order. They remain there even when they hit the ball only 1 out of 10 attempts, and their batting averages remain way under the average for major league teams. It would be wrong not to replace them with more talented and perhaps more motivated and worthy players. It would not only be wrong, if not done, the team's performance could lead the owners into experiencing financial losses in the millions. Yet this happens with many sales teams in America, especially in good economic times. Let me say this again. This happens within sales teams in America, especially in good economic times. Sam made $100,000 with a poor closing percentage. Other reps closed more sales and made $175,000 to $300,000 plus. Yet Sam was happy to take this amount of money home. It was enough for him and beyond his previous paychecks at other companies. The conscientious Sams of the world need to know what's expected of them. They need you to set their goals for them, and they need to know what will happen if they fall below a minimum sales standard. These Sams will also need help with word tracks to use to move customers to a decision. They will also need their leaders to teach them the math behind 2 to 3 strategies that help increase profit per sale. And finally, in a kind and direct manner, the minimum standards must be communicated at the beginning of their employment. For all of you who lead sales reps, it's up to you and your company to pursue outstanding, average, or mediocre sales performance. It's up to you who you choose to hire and coach to reasonable sales levels. But remember this, every player, salesperson, or son and daughter needs standards of behavior and results in their lives. Every sales leader and parent decides what they will allow to continue and what they will expect. Leadership is essential yet not easy. That's because people are individuals with various gifts and desires, and sometimes we do not give grace and mercy to those around us who experience unforeseen difficulties. At the same time, not being clear and not having standards can hurt the best and lowest performers and ourselves. It especially hurts those like Sam, whose only motivation is to serve according to the rules they receive from those around them. I hope this helps you understand these compliant personalities and the strategy to coach them to success. We'll see you next week as you recruit and coach the very best reps.